Hey, what's up everyone? It's Dolbec and today we go with a new world video about the great axe and spear in dungeon. This build is insane, nice CC. This build have good DPS and it's a good build to have into your group. Seriously, in many dungeons that build will be good. Against corrupted the spear like they are weak to it. The Great Axe is good against the Angry Orc, probably already know. And then, in your spear, you can change the gem on it. Like, you're gonna see on that spear, the gem is a topaz, and I have a ring with the lightning damage on it. On this build right now, that spear, I would say to have the surge gem, the gem that I have on it right now, the augmented electrified. I would put it on the great axe. Why? Because you're gonna do a AOE and then it's gonna apply the dot and that's it. Why I have it on the spear right now? Because I used that spear in another build. That my other weapon was my main DPS and I was only using the spear to do AoE sweep here and there, so I was applying the dot everywhere. But in that build, the main weapon is the spear, so you're not gonna put that gem into the spear, so you're gonna benefit more from the lightning damage on the static ring. Where you get the static ring, it's into the Lazarus dungeon. You're gonna find some ring like that. You're gonna need one from for Genesis, a fire ring. Like every dungeon, you're gonna need a specific ring for your spear into that build, and same for your great axe. The only dungeon you don't need a gem for your great axe is Genesis, because yeah, the fire gem do not. You have already a slash weapon. You see what I mean? So we're gonna go for the most important perk in this build. All right. So the most important thing is the enfeebling first, for sure. It's gonna save your life 100%. Having the AoE enfeebling on the Great Axe, I think, is a pretty good thing because your Great Axe is mostly a utility. You can have a Great Axe all in DPS, like a Great Axe like this. I have 10 in on, but like take it as an example if you have pure strength. Like this would be a perfect Great Axe if you have enfeebling on your armor. You can do that to do more DPS. If you're a speedrunner, I would recommend to go all on DPS on your weapon, because if you start putting some enfeebling on your weapon, then you're gonna miss some good DPS, and you're just gonna waste time just to gain what? Just a bit more survivability. You see, it's like this spear. This spear is pretty good too. I can use it when I play with bugs and shit like that, but if I do a speed run, I'm gonna have to take 45 perforate and put it on my gear, because I will want something to do more DPS on my spear, like chain lightning or something. So yeah, you need to stay aware of that. And there's a cap to the enfeebling, alright? So enfeebling skewer, again the enfeebling really good. And yeah, you want it. But remember, what you want the most with the Great Axe, it's a gravity well, alright? This build I made it quick because I made it for the video. I'ma show which piece that would be good. I'ma go find it into my inventory. It's this one. And then you're gonna apply this instead of that. You see, like, if you don't put Insatiable really well, because you're not a speedrunner and you don't really care about the DPS, alright? You can put something like that, just shrinking energy, refreshing evasion, it's fine. Then same for that, like, just some basic piece, you see what I mean? And Bleeding Sweep. The Bleeding Sweep gonna give you DPS for sure, but gonna recharge your rune quicker, because the bleed, alright? And yeah, so the Great Axe is mainly into this build, the CC. You want to clump the mob together with it. You have Reap, you have Maelstrom, you have Gravity Well, and you just put them together. The Reap weapon perk is not really useful. You can add it, like it slow down the enemy after you do the Reap on them. So it's gonna unclump slower, but you don't need it. It's probably a waste to have it. You can have like a refreshing stack instead or something useful, alright? So yeah, for the jewelry, I guess just avoid protection amulet or like any protection to make it fit to your dungeon. You can even switch to trust or anything depending on the boss fight. Some boss fight have different elements. So yeah, sharp static. There's a couple different ring like that. Really useful. All type of ring. You can craft it. What I recommend at the start, if you don't find it or you cannot drop it, you just craft it to perker purple. I have some ring like that that I use. It's purple. Just it's leeching and lightning damage. Why not the stamina one, like RT? Why not RT? Because you're already gonna have some dex in this build, so you don't need RT, alright? So that's why I chose that ring with King. And then evasive. You want evasive or the other perk? There's another perk like that. I got it somewhere. I'm not gonna try to find it, but yeah, there's two perks to reduce the aggro. You want one of those because you're in PvE, so why not? In speedrun, mostly it helped a lot. Refreshing toast, nimble, why not? Both help. I love it. Alright. So let's pass on the build. The spear build is that. It's my favorite spear build. There's maybe something else that is usable, but for me this is good. And remember, the deadly consistency is mainly for boss fight. When you're gonna do a heavy attack, you're gonna have the 10% 3 times, so 30% more DPS on a boss during the wall fight. That shit is insane, and you're doing main spear, so yeah, you kinda want it, alright? So let's go for the great axe. So this is how I do my great axe. In the past I was putting that, but now that there's no more grit at 300 strength, this is not good anymore, so I took that instead. Why I took that instead? Well, why not gaining some armor? There's almost always 3 mobs surrounding you because you're gonna do the gravity well, you're not gonna go in the middle and do the maelstrom, so your wall combo gonna be in the middle and you're gonna gain 20%. I feel like that's pretty good. And yeah, the rest, yeah, like maybe there's something better. You can tell me, like I'm open, but for me that stuff worked. I did a lot of top 5 with that and top 1 on the leaderboard, and this build is pretty good. Alright? So what you want to do with the attribute, right? So let's look at it. You can do 200, 200. That's a good thing to do. With the food, you're gonna reach 200. Then you're gonna have 50 con. If you want to gain more, like if you want to put less con, you're just gonna put more in strength. Why? It's because your insatiable gravity well, alright? You want your insatiable gravity well do more DPS. And you guarantee a critical hit after a dodge only every 10 seconds. It's not that much. Okay. Damage to heavy attack. You're gonna do some heavy attack with the spear too during the boss fight with the 10%. Alright. So if you want to reach 200 strength and 200 and then get 5 con, you can. You can want to reach 50 con, it's gonna be 200, 200. And if you want to do 150 con, it's gonna be this one. And then, yeah, it's gonna be 250 and 200, alright? 250 dex and 200 strength. So yeah, I feel like the 3 R-Trune that are good with that would be the Detonate. Detonate is my favorite. You can do some nasty combo. Like, I'm gonna throw my gravity well. Start my Detonate and then Maelstrom into the clump while my Detonate is active. And then the gravity well gonna explode. When the gravity well gonna explode with my empower boost from the Detonate, then my Detonate explode after the gravity well. It's just a big burst. And I feel like doing it with the Great Axe every time is one of the moves. Or like, you just can go and do, like, try to hit as much mob as you can when you do that attack with your Detonate. Or you can use the Stormform if you're not into a speedrun. Or Grasping Vine. Like you're gonna clump the mob together. And then you go and you vine it there. So they stay there and then, yeah. That's what I mean. So yeah, that's it for that video. I hope you guys like that type of content. Peace out.